Tonight, the embattled Oscar Mira speaks about those supply contracts for his family members and the hundreds of payments under $10,000. And showtime for the PUP. You'll see the scenery and the political pageantry as mayoral hopeful Alan Pollard carried a crowd to Independence Hall. Also a surge in citizen security concerns, but the Compol has a 2-question limit. You'll hear what he said. Plus, Acting Chief Forest Officer John Pinello says businessman Cesar Godinez tried to bribe him. Godinez says Pinello extorted him. We'll have the full story on the accusations, the evidence, and the screenshots. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Wednesday, June 17th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
The biggest soccer season is here. Are you ready to experience the front row from home? Experience stadium level immersion with Samsung's latest technology. Perfect for every room. Your favorite Crystal UHD and QLED smart TVs are ready for you. Now at the best price. From your 32-inch personal fan zone at just $369 to the massive 85-inch home stadium experience for only $2,579. We have the perfect upgrade for every fan. Get yours with confidence at Cellular World, the authorized distributor in Belize, and receive a 1-year warranty. Visit us today and take advantage of these promotions. Valid until June 15th. Upgrade to the front row at home. Experience with Samsung and Cellular World.
I have had several injuries, and usually I don't go to the hospital. I go to the private, and I don't want to see what that is kind of high. I slice here. For this, it's 1,200 just for the first time to clean it and to stitch it. Then every day for the first week, it's dressing. It's $300. Just for that particular week, I paid $2,700. I'm a diabetic patient as well. The different medications that you have to buy, so that makes it triple challenge, I would say. Now in NHI, I get my medication free. The financial aspect is very important. Consider that it does help a lot.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal, es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
At Habet and Brothers Habet, celebrate your super handy dad with gifts he'll actually use and enjoy super savings all June. Like 15% off all power tools and Stanley hand tools, 20% off Vento PVC windows, 20% off Ascot porcelain tiles and 30% off Piso Forte ceramic tiles, and 40% off Sunlight windows and doors. Plus, stop in at Brothers Habet every Saturday for our veranda clearance blowout. And for every $50 you spend, get a chance to win a power tool every Saturday. Visit Habet and Brothers Habet today and give Dad something worthy of his super handiness. Happy Father's Day to all super handy dads. You're up.
These charter mints aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
We're Good evening. Good evening. I'm Sheree Kelso, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Money travels fast, so make sure you check it before you spend it. Here are 4 easy ways to know your money is real. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Look closely at your note by holding it to the light to see the watermark and the note value. Notice how the see-through image completes itself perfectly. Feel for authenticity. Run your fingers over the raised portrait and the bars on the edges. 1 bar for the $2 and up to 6 bars for the $100. Tilt the note to see the hidden value appear. Look for the moving images on the security thread and holographic shimmer on higher denominations. Check closely. Use UV light or a magnifying glass to find hidden images and microtext. Remember, handling counterfeit money is illegal. If you spot a fake, report it to the police immediately. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Know your money. Check it before you spend it. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
Maria's was planned to open in 2020, and that's when COVID came. I thought the dream was dead. People would come to my house, they would purchase the coffees from there. That gave me the little confidence, like, okay, I could do this. Atlantic Bank, of course, helped me take the next step. Once I had their support, it was smooth sailing from there. This business is my life. It's literally what provides my family with food and employment. I employ 3 family members, so it's really everything for us.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for a journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Minister of Home Affairs Oscar Mira has been through a withering 3 weeks. Ever since he made that cyber-bullying complaint against Alberto August, he's been mocked by memes, pilloried in Facebook posts, and battered by revelations of family businesses getting public contracts. Tonight, he's speaking out. The press got 10 minutes with Mira today at a police event, and we asked him about the contract his family members got to supply the BDF while he was Minister of State for Defense.
I don't know if there is an ongoing public criticism, let me just make clear that I sit on no procurement committee. As a minister of state and as a minister, I have never been in any one of those procurement committees. Those are led by the Ministry of Finance. I had no say, I had no influence, and I have never, in my ministry or any other ministry, tried to influence the decision of that committee. They have a job to do, and they have done their job professionally.
So how is it that how is it that several of your family members are able to and were able to benefit from lucrative government contracts?
Tenders are published on the newspaper. Any interested person can apply and pay for that tender. They are then go through a lengthy process. I had no say. I was not part of those committees. If they did so, they did on their own, not with my influence or with with anything to do with me. Everybody who reads a newspaper and wants to be a supplier to the ministry can go ahead and do that. It is a long process. It's a process that I have no say. It is a process that happens in every ministry of the government. And as such, I was not a member of that committee or that process.
How is it in your view not a conflict of interest?
I do not ask, nor did I ask anyone who applied. There were many people who have applied. You know, that is just one. I think company that applied. I was not part of it. You know, so I don't even know how many people applied. It is not me who make decision. It is a committee who sits together and make that decision of who gets contracts. Those are done, as I said before, by buying a tender package and going through the requisite whatever it is that they need to supply. And I had nothing to do with that.
And while he says his family's businesses legitimately qualified for government contracts, why then did they send in hundreds of invoices for less than $10,000? It's a pattern observed over many years, and it is meant to deliberately avoid oversight and red tape from the Ministry of Finance. We asked him about those structured payments.
Why were so many of the hundreds of the payments structured in a way that to ensure that it's below $10,000? Did you not find this suspicious?
I have nothing to do with how government pays their contractors or their suppliers. I have nothing as a minister to do with how the Ministry of Finance pays. That is not my decision. I don't know. And I don't think that it's also the decision of any supplier to ask how to be paid. I really do not believe it is that way. It is, as I have understood it now, a part of how payments are done. I really do not know. As ministers, I don't go into the finance office or any way trying to influence how or who gets paid. That's not my job.
Now that all this information has come to light, the optics look bad. Whether or not you had a hand in it, will you do anything to rectify it?
I think it's a public perception that yes, and I really don't see the reason why those payments were made that way. If you go through the process, if you go through the procurement process, if you get your, pay for your tender package, you go through the whole long process of all the paperwork that's included, and because I have been asking, and you are awarded the contract, then yes, I think that you should be paid for the services that you have given. And is there a better way? I believe there is. I don't think there is any supplier who would want to be paid in so many small pieces. I'm sure that as a supplier, you would want to be paid fully. But that has nothing to do with me as the Minister of State or as a minister now at the Ministry of Home Affairs. I believe that it's probably something that now, every crisis, you learn from them. And I myself, of course, I'm trying to make sure that I learn from this. And the government has their procedures, and they should be followed. I have no issues in having anyone, but I, as a minister or as a minister of state, I really don't have a say in the procurement.
Are you not concerned though that because these structured payments in the financial world is called smurfing and it's a form of money laundering, are you not concerned that your former ministry can be accused of money laundering?
Of course, there's that that concern. I don't think that anyone won't be concerned. But was anything illegally done? I don't know. I never know they call it smurfing, because I really do not go there asking or being part of the finance office or whatever they do. That wasn't my job.
And now that he is in the center of the furious political storm, does Mira regret ever using, some would say misusing, the cyberbullying law to get prominent UDP Alberto August locked up? So does he regret making that complaint? Mira said he did what he needed to do.
While you won't admit that it is a public onslaught, there is at the very least major discussion happening surrounding all of these allegations. And these came to light following the charges that you levied on Alberto August. Seeing all of this now, do you regret levying these charges? Or filing, these charges?
I think I must correct you. I did not levy any charges. I did not ask anyone to levy any charges. I am not a policeman. I can't levy charges on no one. I did not file a charge either. What I did was I made a complaint. I went and I made a complaint.
Do you regret it though?
I made a complaint because I felt that it was what I needed to do after I got advice on what I should have done. You don't, after a tragedy that happened here in Belmopan, you don't try to get cheap political mileage out of a tragedy that, impacted the community, that impacted the whole city of Belmopan and the medical community. There was a family that was very, very, that was crying for the loss of someone who has contributed so much to this city and to the wider community and to the wider, and I just felt that those words that I did not say. I made a complaint, and I went to the police department to make a complaint that those were not my words. Whatever it is that he said, he said, whatever type of I don't know how they call it. You don't do that in those circumstances, And I truly believe that as a citizen, I made that as a citizen. I didn't make that as a minister of police. And he was afforded the same procedure like any other person. Now, if you had been aggrieved, you could have done the same.
Do you plan to file any charges against anybody else, considering that there's major discourse happening on social media and you have been mocked?
I do not file charges.
Make a complaint.
I will not discuss that because I have given all of those things to my attorney. My attorney is looking at those. He will advise me on the way forward. Many defamatory and statements have been said and have been reproduced by many news outlets and many other people. My attorney is going to give me the advice, and that is in his hands, and those will become adverse.
Jules Vasquez will have more smart stream screenshots relating to the Miras later on in the news. Also, we should note that the Prime Minister returned to the country today after a 12-day break. Rumors suggest that he may take action to ease public concerns about political hustling run amok. Tonight, the political stage is set, and there will be an interesting battle for municipal supremacy within the Belize City PUP. Like many great contests, this one will see a contrast in styles between Alan Pollard and Elude Miller, two men who want to be mayor but submitted their applications very differently. Miller had a low-key visit to headquarters last week, bolstered by 7 of his councillor colleagues, while Pollard went to the party headquarters today with a political hype machine in high gear. Jaleesa Roberts reports.
This morning, Alan Pollard Jr. made his way to Independence Hall to submit his application to offer himself as the PUP mayoral candidate in the 2027 municipal elections. Greeted by a swell of celebratory supporters, his entrance was very different from his opponent, Elude Miller, who was joined by 7 councillors. Different statements of support for 2 very different aspirants.
I'm formally submitting my application to become the next mayor of Belize City to support and represent the beautiful people of the party and people of Belize City. So that's here in my hand right now. Do that now.
You have a big support out here. Did you ask for this?
No, well, I have asked family and friends to call, but you can't tell people they can't call. So everybody they ask me if they come out, and then they come out and support. This is always out there I love. Convention day, I see the support.
But when we asked Pollard if in any way he felt threatened or offended by the fact that his councillor colleagues chose to endorse Miller as opposed to him, he said no.
No, we have the support of the people. That's all that matters. The delegates on convention day. But respect all my colleagues and their decisions to support who they want. I bring a lot of vision, a clear vision. I'm young, but I'm very experienced. I've been in the council for 8 years, going on my 9th year, 3 term. You know, I know the ins and the outs. I've served in many different capacities. And of course, you know, the love and support of the people, and we plan to connect the people with the residents and the city hall together, and we plan to move this city into the way forward.
Pollard aspired to run for mayor in the last municipal election, and at the time they told him that he had to wait his turn. But over time, that tone has changed, and Miller is not being asked the same. When we asked Pollard if perhaps the party leaders should have relayed the same message to his young colleague, this is what he said.
I don't think that's the Prime Minister's job. The Prime Minister's job is to lead this party, and if he believes that it's time we have a democratic process between the two of us, if he believes that is healthy, then that is healthy, then that is something that we need to do.
Should Mayor have waited his turn though?
I think if my vote message is have young representation and having people on the ballot, then if Miller wants to contest, then he should contest. Every young person should contest. Not only Miller, any young person who wants to run, any older person who wants to run. It's a democratic party. I think it's respect between everybody. And at the end of the day, we just have to put in the work and make sure you bring out your delegates and make sure they come out and support you. That's all.
Are you upset they're not endorsing you?
No, I never expect an endorsement. Everything I have done from since I entered this party in 2018, I had to work for, and I plan to continue working for that. So I don't need no endorsement. We are work for it.
But despite Pollard's nonchalance, his father, a veteran of many PUP campaigns, had a different take, saying that his son was a major supporter of Bernard Wagner and the councillors, and they have turned around and not supported him in return. He called them snakes.
He was with the whole council, was with Bernard all the way. Just due to Bernard is his son-in-law, he decided that, well, he was doing thing for Mr. Miller, which I will do the same thing, but if he could vote and say that Mr. Pollard is a good person, Mr. Pollard do what he have to do, and they don't have no dirt for my son. My son been there with no kind of dirt. So they can't pinpoint. Only thing my son have is his name. Not trying to get rich or none, he have his name and his name only. My son is too straight for those bunch of snakes. Them is a snake. How my son put out the head for one of the councillor, and the minute that he get elected, he turn on him. So he's a snake, and the rest of them is a snake. And my plain and straight, and my son is not about no money.
It will be a long uphill battle to Convention Day, as both candidates have garnered their support of PUP loyalists. But delegates will have their way on Convention Day. Jaleesa Roberts, 7 News.
Friday is the deadline for applications, and no date has been set for the convention. We'll take a break now. When we come back, more Smart Stream screenshots. Jules Vasquez looks through the numbers for Brian and Stanley Mira. And Acting Chief Forest Officer John Pinello says businessman Cesar Godinez tried to bribe him. Godinez says Pinello extorted him. We'll have the full story on the accusations, the evidence, and the screenshots. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
At the MIDH, we are all about productivity, and it is not productive to respond to the lies and propaganda coming out of the opposition. But in this case, we will, because we owe it to the men and women of the MIDH who give their all in service. According to the leader of the opposition, the MIDH changed the scope of works of the Coastal Plain Highway when a government of the PUP entered office in 2020.
We see before our very eyes what happens when you tamper with a project properly designed under the United Democratic Party, properly financed under the United Democratic Party.
That is a lie. The truth is that the MIDH could not and did not reduce the scope of works or design of the Coastal Plain Highway because it is not possible under the financing agreements with the IFIs who funded the construction works. There were significant savings on the project under this administration in the form of a contingency fund. A contingency fund is a percentage of the entire contract cost put in place in the event something goes wrong while building the road. In this case, it was not used and was not disappeared as has happened in the past. It was used by this administration to finance peripheral projects, including the paving of the Gales Point Manatee and Mullins River roads. It's as simple as that. The leader of the opposition knows this, and if she doesn't, she can easily find out. Politics is politics, but the truth is the truth. And at the MIDH, we stand by our integrity, hard work, and commitment to the people of Belize.
Football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarterfinal winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
No se trata solo de cigarrillos. Los vapes, hookahs, cigarros y otros productos de tabaco liberan humo y químicos tóxicos. Cuando fumas o vapeas, la nube de humo no desaparece. Se transforma en humo de segunda mano y de tercera mano que otras personas respiran. Este humo puede causar cáncer, diabetes, enfermedades pulmonares y problemas cardíacos. Puede matar a cualquier persona expuesta. Si fumas o vapeas, aléjate de los demás. Todos merecemos respirar aire limpio.
I was in Belmopan, then I used to go do my NHI in Belize. Then I came back home in Palma. And when I found out that NHI was here, I said, right, that's the perfect thing for me. So I don't have to travel, you know? It's very affordable. That's the main point. And you don't have to wait too long. You know, sometimes you go to hospital, you have to go from the morning, whole day there. So, but you come to the NHI at your clinic, you have access for doctors, you do your blood tests, urine tests, everything. I mean, it's very, very affordable. So if they not take the opportunity, they don't want nothing. The doctors, them, the nurses, oh my, they are so, you could question them. They give you answer to everything. And well, me, I see good result. And I have no complaint with the NHI itself. No complaint.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Belize Blue Bull, the beaches, the jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world, the Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on Earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. From rest to adventure. From nature to culture. From luxury to freedom. Every vacation imaginable, except snow, and we plan to keep it that way. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
Escape to the reigning spa of the year. Belize's premier wellness experience, where award-winning luxury meets pure tranquility. Book now, 20% off spa treatments, 50% off accommodations, only at Naya Resort and Spa.
Paperworks Entertainment and SJ Promotion presents the official Belizean Jamaican Link-Up, the Father's Day edition. It's an all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Featuring the international reggae dancehall singing sensation stage boss, Wayne Wonder. To mash up the stage alongside the General Super G for the first time in Belize, Steely Bashman plus Belize's top DJs. Get your general tickets for $60 and VIP for $150 at Madisco, Stone Music Outlet and VIP Wireless. And lock the date for the official Belizean Jamaican Link-Up all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sponsored by
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
At the MIDH, we are all about productivity, and it is not productive to respond to the lies and propaganda coming out of the opposition. But in this case, we will, because we owe it to the men and women of the MIDH who give their all in service. According to the leader of the opposition, the MIDH changed the scope of works of the Coastal Plain Highway when a government of the PUP entered office in 2020.
We see before our very eyes what happens when you tamper with a project properly designed under the United Democratic Party, properly financed under the United Democratic Party.
That is a lie. The truth is that the MIDH could not and did not reduce the scope of works or design of the Coastal Plain Highway because it is not possible under the financing agreements with the IFIs who funded the construction works. There were significant savings on the project under this administration in the form of a contingency fund. A contingency fund is a percentage of the entire contract cost put in place in the event something goes wrong while building the road. In this case, it was not used and was not disappeared as has happened in the past. It was used by this administration to finance peripheral projects, including the paving of the Gales Point Manatee and Mullins River roads. It's as simple as that. The leader of the opposition knows this, and if she doesn't, she can easily find out. Politics is politics, but the truth is the truth. And at the MIDH, we stand by our integrity, hard work, and commitment to the people of Belize.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
And we didn't get an opportunity to ask the Compo what he thought of the pause of the LIU's work program. But when we asked the minister if the program would be reinstated, he said the LIU hasn't stopped completely.
The LIU program has not stopped. There are many other segments of the LIU program that is continuing and is happening right now. One segment, which was the work program, part of the work program, that was the one that is being looked after. We want to make sure that we spend the taxpayers' money right. And we want to make sure that those monies that we are investing, that we get the proper results. That's all that is happening. And the program is still on. It is still being, the intervention is still there. Many things of the LIU program is still happening right now as we speak.
Last night we showed you one of the most explosive stories we've ever reported on. The acting Chief Forest Officer, John Pinello, accused the businessman, who also has a logging concession, of trying to bribe him. And the businessman, Cesar Godinez, accused the chief of trying to extort him. It's a dark tangle of accusations and counter-accusations. And tonight, Jules Vasquez has the full story.
One company, Selva Conservation Limited, and two stories of how the acting Chief Forest Officer became a shareholder.
I was shocked when you sent me a document with my name on it. I never signed anything to be a member of this company. I don't even know what the company is doing. I was asked if I wanted to be a shareholder. Yes, I will say that. I never signed anything or accepted to be. I have never participated in any meeting or any discussion with anybody that professes to be the directors or managers of Selva Conservation.
I did my proposal. I submitted it. John saw it. He reached out to me. And the only way that I would be able to get co-management of an area back here is if, you know, because you have to grease the wheels.
You're saying that John saw the application from
The
Silva
opportunity.
Conservation, and he then asked you to be a shareholder.
Yeah, he asked me if you make me a shareholder, I can help you. I can facilitate it. So
Who asked you to be a member of the company?
Jules, in this job, you get offered uh, a lot of things, and that is just the nature of being a head of a department.
Offer things
Um,
as inducements?
Things are offered. Um, I try not to entertain myself with that, but I was approached by one Mr. Cesar Godinez, um, who is a long-term concessionaire in the Mountain Pine Ridge, and I never signed anything, Jules, because I realized that he could use whatever he had to come back at me on a day like this, and the day is here.
why would I want to give up shares in a company?
Selva Conservation applied to co-manage areas of the park for recreational purposes. The former Chief Forest Officer Wilbur Sabita weighed in against it in this memo from June of 2025. For context, here's a piece of the story I did at the time. A company named Selva Conservation wants to manage 4 recreation sites in the Mountain Pine Ridge area. They are Pinole Sands, Rio Frio, Granite Falls, and the Ballerina area. It's proposed as a private-public partnership promising improved management of the Mountain Pine Ridge recreational sites and contributing to the financial sustainability of the National Protected Area systems, among other objectives. But it was never approved.
Let's say I forced whoever to put me in a company. Why is the company not doing absolutely anything in a very lucrative area like the Mountain Pine Ridge? Why would I not then have given myself contracts to do work in Mountain Pine Ridge?
We didn't get we didn't get the areas. We didn't get the co-management. So then that's when he reached out and said, if you give me this amount of money, and I want to make sure you go. And I have proof that I gave him money. That's for a fact.
You're
I
saying
have
that
all
you
my
gave
WhatsApp
him.
messages. I have all my WhatsApp messages where he would call me. Sometimes I would not even answer his calls because I've been in business. I know how it goes.
So
He
you're
would
saying.
reach out to me. I would give. I gave him monies, and he would say, if you don't give me money, I know I make you go through.
And to prove these claims, Godinez provided us records of money transfers he sent to Pinelo's account in August and September of 2025, one for a flat $5,000 and the other for $3,500. Pinello told us over the phone that those were for purchases made from his company, PC.com.
But he
And then
told me that those monies that you sent him were for products you bought from his company in Belmopan, PC.com.
no, I don't buy any. Everything I buy is I ship through Amazon.
So have you purchased any products from his companies and
I
sent
have
payment to
never
Belmopan?
purchased. I have never purchased anything from his company. I didn't even know he has a company that sell products.
So now those payments you made to Mr. Pinello, you're saying those were because he
It was.
demanded
I
he
feel it's more
demanded
like
those payments? You're saying it's extortion.
yeah, like extortion. Yeah.
He also sent us screenshots from that time with Pinello saying he had an idea for the company, Selva, and that he was trying to get the permit. In another, he says, we need to start doing activities.
I don't actively participate. I don't even know what Selva Conservation is doing. Selva Conservation definitely does not have any concession at all in the Mountain Pine Ridge. This is coming out now, and the only reason I would say that I think it is coming out is because my appointment for Chief Forest Officer is coming up. I am acting, and so anything will come out of the woodworks to try and blackmail me or sully my name, so that whoever is making decisions look at me negatively.
And Pinello has his own accusations to make.
Mr. Godinez approached me after a meeting with my CEO and offered me money to help him facilitate his activities. And I told Mr. Godinez, I don't need any of your money. I am well off how I am. And I will be well off after you disappear from this environment. And then I mentioned it to my CEO, so she was aware that this gentleman was actually offering me a bribe to facilitate his documents.
But that is a serious allegation. You're accusing someone of a criminal act. Offering a public officer a bribe is a criminal act.
It is.
Why didn't you make a criminal complaint?
I guess it was foolish of me not to follow it up.
He says you offered him a bribe right there in the ministry's office.
I don't remember the last time I have been to the forestry office in Belmopan. The last time I was there was for my. It'll be like 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, about 3 months ago.
At
But
that time, did you offer him a bribe?
I haven't seen John since I would say like almost a year now. When nothing got delivered, so I didn't give him any money. But yeah, we had a fallout. I didn't give him any more money, so he got. I guess there's no money coming in, so he's. We've followed that, you can say it. But why would I be paying someone when they didn't deliver? He kept asking me and asking me, and I gave him a couple of times.
So now, but you realize that when you offer or when you pay, even if you didn't offer, when you pay someone a bribe, it's also a criminal offense.
Well, I didn't know, but I guess what can I do? It was done. He asked me for money, I gave him.
In doing my job, I step on people's toes because they want to do business the way it was normally done. And because I push for us to follow the procedures, people are building cases to try and mess me up. But now I have to sit and talk to my lawyer and find out what recourse I have to defend myself. Because obviously, somebody out there is trying to mess up my name, to badmouth me in doing my job.
We tried to get comment from the Belize Companies and Corporate Affairs Registry by phone and email, but consistent with their track record of opacity, they did not respond. Earlier in the news, you heard from the police minister. He and the Compol were both present at the police awards ceremony, which we will tell you more about later. While Mira spoke to us for about 10 minutes, Compol Rosado limited us to exactly 2 questions. Even in the throes of a crime wave, we asked him about the recent spike in murders and whether he believes the recently ended SOE was ineffective.
First of all, I want to say that the main objective of the SOE is to ensure that the investigators can conduct the investigation without any impediment. And that was accomplished because we had 4 arrests for murders during that time. Now, the safety and security of our country is our number 1, our highest priority. And we will not allow any criminal elements to dictate the security environment of our country. Hence the reason we have deployed all resources to ensure that we identify, apprehend, and prosecute those individuals involved.
Considering that one of the murders happened during the Saturday rush on Big Albert Street, do you feel like criminals are not afraid of interdiction?
Without disclosing our operational strategies, I want to assure the public that we are applying all legal tools, proven strategies, and coordinating with our strategic partner to address the challenges that face us. I also want to assure the public that the investigators have a wide range of cameras network that are available to them. Facial recognition, license plate readers. We have the advanced analytics that investigators can now track and identify vehicles and individuals from the time an incident occurred. So it's just a matter of time before we have arrests.
Government Smart Stream System. It has a record of every single payment that the government makes, from the mundane to the eyebrow raising. And that's why no government has ever opened it up. But through the magic of screenshots and an undaunted whistleblower, we've been seeing pages and pages of them. The last time we got 47 screenshots and 497 entries showing Jenny Mira's invoices with the government of Belize. Tonight, we have a far fewer for another Mira family business named MP Farms. But what we saw is a high-velocity single-day payment processing? Jules Vasquez looked for answers.
On September 14, 2023, the Ministry of Defense processed 12 separate invoices for Jen and Mira, totaling $103,237.58. Of course, all figures under $10,000. And now, new screenshots reveal that almost exactly 2 years later, on September 25, 2025, she was easily outmatched by her brother, who saw a stampede of 44 invoice approvals for his company, Mount Pleasant MP Farms. You can see Brian Mira's email address as the contact. 40 individual invoices processed on that single day for that single vendor, while his brother, Oscar Mira, was full Minister of Defense. And of course, all the figures under $10,000, hovering right there at the threshold of reportability. For example, $9,960, $9,964, $9,961. You get the idea. Amounts designed to sit a hair's breadth below $10,000. And the grand total from that avalanche of invoices, $388,795.85. That's nearly $400,000 funneled to a single vendor in a single day, again, broken down into 44 separate invoices, so that not a single transaction ever breached that $10,000 threshold. Within that are 13 identical figures. $8,511.75 appears 5 times, while $9,907.65 appears 4 times. It's a pattern we've seen repeated now for 2 Mira siblings, but in 2 years, the scale and the numbers increased almost fourfold.
I don't know it to be Brian Mira's company, but nevertheless, when I looked into the company, it happens to belong to another Mira. I looked for who it was registered under, who I believe is Stanley Mira. But nevertheless, it's a Mira. I get the optics and the perception of it. So, as you alluded to, these payments happened since I became the CEO. The volume of payments that were made, as you said, on one particular day, actually happened to be invoices are paid when they're submitted. Sometimes they are submitted in lots or in groups, and then we process them and pay them. It's not that on one singular day, however many items were purchased, it's just that that's when the invoices were submitted so that the payments can be processed. MP Farms is one of the, or was one of the dry goods suppliers last year. The soldiers themselves, particularly from the BDF and from the Coast Guard, the people that handle the ration stores and that receive the items, had some reports against some of the other companies that were also providing dry goods and other supplies. So we chose to continue with the companies that were providing, that were reliable.
And while that stream of single-day straight payments all under the reportable threshold would certainly raise any auditor's blood pressure, the CEO explained that there could be a practical explanation.
But what stands out is that of these 44 invoices, all of them are under the $10,000 threshold, right? They're
Right.
9,960. We saw that number multiple times. We saw, we see numbers repeating,
Right.
the same exact figures, and they're all clearly designed to be under the $10,000 threshold. Isn't this a way to escape oversight?
I don't think it's a way to escape oversight. I think it's a way to escape the bureaucracy of getting paid. I think this is a mechanism used by providers to get paid quicker. And in that case...
But if you have a contract with the government, sorry to cut you, but if you have a contract with the government, you'll get paid. You know, you can use the larger amount, the 18,000, or if it's a, in this case, this is 400,000. If you have a legitimate contract, it may take a minute, but the government is good for it, and you'll get your money.
Right. But in that meantime now, it is balancing whether or not you are able to turn over and provide for the next month or the month after that.
But you understand how this appears. This is the brother of the minister, Stanley Mira, and he is now the minister. He is the full Minister of Defense, and $400,000 in small payments
are approved on a single day, 393,000. This looks like insider trading. This looks like uh, preferred treatment for politically favored companies supplying the minister his brother's ministry.
So, in terms of optics, I can definitely understand why, from a perception or a public perception, this would be seen or could be seen as that. But the fact of the matter is, at the ministry level, at the CEO down, what I focus on is ensuring we get quality service, quality goods, they're delivered on time, and that what is being delivered is what we're paid for.
But how did the ministry hook up with MP Farms? Yes, the Mira family has long been known as vegetable vendors, but was the CEO steered to choose them as suppliers? We asked him.
How was MP Farms selected? Were
So
you were you directed to them?
no, so they were supplying before I became CEO. They were supplying some items, and they were one of the companies that were not. There were reports written about some of the other companies, and so by virtue of that, the amount of allocation that they received increased. They were reached out to via email and asked if can you provide X, Y, and Z. They said yes. We ensured we got value for money, but at no point was I directed to use MP Farms.
Since Mr. Mira is no longer the Minister of Defense, have do you all continue to use MP Farms or Mira related companies?
So MP Farms currently for this year won the bid for supplying grains, rice, beans, and flour, I believe. They did not win any of the dry goods lots, which were what they were providing last year. In addition to grains, I believe. So they didn't win any of the dry goods lots, but they did win another lot.
And moving on from the mirrors to another screenshot that came our way, we saw some invoices for a vendor named Pew Pew, formerly a gun dealer that supplied the BDF. We asked the CEO about inconsistencies with the numbering on their invoices.
Again, we saw a big invoice canceled for the $3,875, and then a number of smaller payments appeared under it. And we know this is a pattern of behavior. And what we saw again is that they are now using another nomenclature to put the same invoice number in twice. The system constraint won't allow you to enter the same invoice number, so they put a hyphen beside it to enter the same invoice number and make the same payment 8,511 multiple times. This is only a single screenshot for this particular company, but it is very concerning because it shows again a pattern that suggests less than above board behavior. Are you aware of this, and what's your response?
So as it relates to Pew Pew Gun Store, that actually is no longer a licensed gun dealer in Belize. I have looked into that particular gun store. I looked into that particular series of invoices, and those items I can confirm were delivered. I have heard the rumors of other matters. I can say that at this point in time, it's a legal matter that we're looking into, as it relates to not with Pew Pew, but with the individual himself.
Yeah, but what do you make of the fact that multiple invoices were the invoice was re-entered under the same name 5 times, but just with a hyphen, to intentionally undermine the system constraints?
So in that particular case, I'll have to look at the adding up the particulars to see that it adds up to the initial amount. But I can see what you're alluding to here in terms of internally trying to undermine it. I'll have to look into why that was done and when. I do know, and I can say that at that time there were issues regarding a particular finance officer who is no longer at the ministry. And these seem to have been certain practices that were routine under his time.
Will there be a criminal investigation of this person?
I would have to defer to the. I know that he is I don't want to speak on what his current status is.
After the break, we'll take you to the Police Awards ceremony and we'll show you how the YMCA is finding more ways to serve its community. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Gear up!
These charter mints aren't from
We're
an
navigating along the coastline.
This morning,
of
the
northern
2023
lagoon in the
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shiri Kelso,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
If you're tired of the baking in your house with the only cook go wawa fan and finally realize that the time to get yourself a good, durable, reliable fan, contact Maya's panel website or social media. Maya's going to hook you up with one of their 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan where might could even change your life as they keep you cool in this hot Belizean weather. Yes man, because their 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan from Maya's not just could blow your lip back way, they might could blow away your mind if you say blow away the toxic konomono out of your life and the bad vibes out of your house. Order your 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan from Maya's website or on their social media, and Maya's going to ship out your fan anywhere countrywide ASAP. Not believe me? Visit mayaselectronics.bz right now to order your fan today.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years. Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
And now the end is near, and so I face
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Police Week is underway, and today saw one of its highlights, the Police Awards ceremony. It's been a few years since the officers have been recognized in this way, but the ceremony at the Price Police, that is Training Academy, saw hundreds of medals being distributed as well as promotions for sergeants to inspectors. Courtney Menzies was there and has this story.
Hundreds of police officers who have served for decades were today recognized for the years they've dedicated to the department. It's been 4 years since the last award ceremony, and both the Compal and the Minister of Home Affairs told us they were honored to acknowledge the hardworking officers.
Well, we're in the mid of the Police Week, and this is one of our highlights today. We had the last medal and award ceremony in September 2022, and I'm pleased to recognize our dedicated officer for their years of service, commitment, and their excellence in service. So it's truly a good feeling to be able to recognize them as the Commissioner of Police.
Today is about the police officers who were out on the parade square. Many of those received awards, some for 10, 15, 20, up to 30 years of service, dedicated service to our country. Some promotions as well. As you know, this is Police Week, and we honor the police officers who have been going beyond what is the call of duty. Not an easy job to do, and a very unforgiving job at that. So today we honor them, and we thank them so very much for the service that they have provided to our country.
The awards included long service medals for those that reach 18 years of service and first and second class medals, which are awarded to those completing 25 to 30 years. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
We had questions for the Compal about these promotions, but as we told you, his handlers only allowed 2 questions. They're building something big over at the YMCA, and today we got an early look at what will be their very first multi-purpose sports court. Jo Marie Lanza spoke to their executive director today at the YMCA, and she gave us more details on their exciting new addition to the Y.
When the kids show up for their annual YMCA summer program, they will have a new volleyball court to play on. It is currently under construction here at their headquarters on Fabas Road. We spoke to their executive director about it today. She says it is an investment of thousands of dollars thanks to donors who made it possible for them.
We're putting a multi-purpose sport court here. It's been a dream of ours since 2012. So we've done a lot of the groundwork, having removed all the mangrove and having now bigger boulders compacted. We've always gotten support from Cisco Construction. We've gotten help from the government of Belize to do the underground work. And now we're laying a portion of the size of the court, which the full size will be upon completion 120 by 100. For now, we only have enough to do 50 by 60. So that's the portion we're working on. And then it makes us be able to start as a small organization. We can't wait till we have the full funding. And we'll be able to do a lot with young people in volleyball and basketball with the balls and equipment at their age range, the court height and the volleyball net at their age range. So this summer we're running a summer program, and volleyball will be on that side and basketball is over on this other side. And you'll see that the goals are set at 8 feet instead of 10 feet. And we put down and take down the rims every day. So with the gift that we got from St. Louis Y today, they'll have the balls that are for children U8, U10, and U12. That's the age range we're targeting.
We also got a chance to meet those youths that will be helping out in the program for the summer.
I help out with setting up events and helping the youths them, like teaching them sports, teaching them new games, and helping them having a great time here at the Y.
I helped during programs that we had for last year's summer program. And I helped students sometimes in the evening
And aside from the court, they also received supplies from their partners currently visiting from the St. Louis Y. We asked Director Cuellar when construction will conclude.
We're concluding on Friday, according to the contractor, and I believe him because he's divided it into 4 units. He's done 2 in 2 days, so I have all confidence he'll do the other 2. He'll keep wetting the concrete as he needs to. And while the concrete can't take weight, by the 29th of June when we open summer camp, it can take little children between 7 and 10. All of them put together won't weigh what a vehicle weighs. So yes, the concrete needs time to cure, but we're not putting up any heavy stands on the court itself. We'll roll on volleyball rims by tires, so then we'll be able to use it.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has partnered with the Surgical Outreach for the Americas to provide Belizean doctors, nurses, and public health technicians in a hands-on training in laparoscopic surgery. Here are the highlights from the training being led by a specialist in Belmopan today.
I'm a laparoscopic and robotic surgeon with a specialty in liver and pancreas surgery, and I'm here to put an emphasis on what we're learning regarding laparoscopic training. Starting a laparoscopic program is a long-term endeavor. This is something that takes many, many months and a lot of discussion and a lot of training. This training is important because it is the official commencement of on-the-ground training on laparoscopic surgery. And so laparoscopic surgery is something that gives patients many benefits because it is less impactful on the body. You know, I'm sure you understand, as opposed to a big cut, the way that traditional surgery is done, this is done through small cuts. Through those small cuts, instruments are placed. One of them is a camera, and the other ones are long instruments that help us manipulate the tissue and do the operation. And so for the patient, it's much easier on their body because you don't have the big incision, and you have a lot of benefits from having the smaller incisions instead. And so our goal is to be able to expand this throughout all of Belize and to allow patients to benefit from a technology that has been proven to have a lot of benefits already.
One of the key roles of the Ministry of Health in partnering with SOFA is to improve the services in operations, specifically gynecology and general surgery, in the introduction of new technology. One of the roles is to continue building capacity and in so provide a service that allows for the needed people, persons who need surgery, are able to get it where it's available, and that it's the benefits that laparoscopic surgery provides is that the person is able to do a minimal access, that person has a speedy recovery, and by so it's less invasive. So the partnership with SOFA is another partnership where the ministry is providing people-centered service areas.
A groundbreaking ceremony was held yesterday in Trio Village, Toledo District, for a school classroom construction project. The building will also double as a hurricane shelter. Here's what the ceremony looked like today.
As we break ground on a transformative project, and I do not use this word lightly. When we build schools, we do more than develop infrastructure. We are actively creating environments where curiosity is encouraged, where confidence is developed, and where young minds can imagine possibilities beyond what they see today. A child who enters a safe, modern classroom is more likely to engage, to learn, and to dream bigger. A teacher with adequate facilities is better equipped to inspire and nurture potential. A community with strong educational infrastructure becomes better positioned to grow and thrive.
What's going to be constructed here behind us is a 4-classroom building. It's going to be able to hold like 140 students. Right now, all of you and your preschool is almost 400 students. That building is also a picture of the future. It's a picture of hurricane safety because it's going to be built so that it can be a hurricane shelter. It's a picture of inclusion and accessibility because it's going to be built so that anyone can access. Whether you're in a wheelchair or not, you have a right to get to school. You have a right to be able to use the bathroom when you're at school. That building is going to be a picture of high quality teaching and learning spaces. It's going to be an investment of about $2 million. The thing is, guys, this is an investment in more than a building. This is an investment in your community. It's an investment in you, all of you.
The project is funded by the Caribbean Development Bank and GOB. And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching with your news. I'm Indira Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great evening. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.